Greetings and welcome back to another episode of the Corrupt Crew Chronicles. So, yeah, you all, I am on one tonight. Yes, I am. I want to first of all go ahead and say that woman, that female I was talking about on that last video that I made, episode 64, yeah, the one who died, yeah, she was only 56. Yeah, I don't want anybody thinking that she was all up in age and, old. And 56, that's young. Yeah, that's still very young. And she was only 56. And she met her demise for fucking with me. Now, let me go ahead and talk about tonight. And Eli, Circus Code leader, shitty one, standing up there. Because tonight kicked off that funky ass Feast of Tabernacles. So they was up in there. First of all, running late. Yeah, late. Had a different time up there on the live streaming. Clicked on late. Late. Okay. But anyway, then he gets up there, of course, Eli, Circus Code leader, shitty one, talking. He up there talking before, okay. He gets the one minister up there who's married to the one. I already talked about them. They were engaged together when they came in, and then got engaged and we're gonna get married, not gonna get married, we're gonna get married, we're not gonna get married. I already talked about them and everything, and how he does not want her, and it's just what it is. So he miserable with her, with his wife and everything. But anyhow, he was one who's up there tonight. But, of course, Eli, Service Code leader, shitty one, got to get up there. He talking about some recall on cantaloupes and mess. Brought it up on the screen. Had them bringing stuff up on the screen. Mine just fucked up. Y'all should see him. He turned around when they were blowing the horns. Why was he erasing the board? Again, that just shows you all the hypocrisy of him. I just point out his hypocrisy. How you supposed to be giving reverence to the Most High Yah, so to speak? That's what you call this higher power. And, I'm just saying that's what they call him. And you erasing the board while they blowing the horns to bring in this day of rest. To start off, not even standing there giving any reverence, because he don't give a fuck. Mine fucked up. And then seeing that bald head of his, oh, he looked horrible. Bald head. Y'all, it is so funny, because, Sis Keita and I, we were messaging back and forth tonight, and it's like how she said, she just remembers, and I do too. And I know that a lot of y'all who's no longer in there remember how he used to run his mouth about people's looks and everything. And, like his looks not going to change, and he not going to go through things and not going to get older, like how Skeeta said. So true. So true. He looked horrible. Got that bald spot in his head. Yes. In the back of his head. Oh boy, I tell you, it's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. Then, let me tell y'all, after, at the end, he's standing up there, and I'm glad he's at least saying children now, instead of saying kids and babies' kids. Yeah, I meant what I said about that. Don't call those children that. And anyhow, having them come up, he's standing there. Look, he just tired. He wore out, and he angry. I got a screenshot of it. Look on his face. Anyway, here come. I see more water buffalo. So I took screenshots. I showed it, and these are females in there Water buffalo. I'm telling y'all, if he get up there, and I already put it out in that last video, and say anything, I'm talking about make any reference about the videos that I'm making, that I have made, anything at all. Because see, he didn't tonight, and he better keep it that way, because if he does not, I am coming on this camera, and like I said, I'm calling first and last names of them sitting in there, and I'm gonna talk about them, and I'm also posting pictures on my Facebook page, and he better hope that they in there better hope that divine spirit of my ancestors don't go ahead and give me the green light to start doing that now. When I seen them water buffalo, them lard asses, fatties, and these were females. One is that fat nasty don't want to wash her ass per her husband. Officer in there, standing right in front of the camera, blocking everything. She got more roles than Pillsbury Company. Yeah, I'm talking about her back. And I'm not even lying. I have the screenshots. And I have screenshots of two others. Two other females in there. And like I said, they was eating because he said, yeah, go ahead and get these children washed up. Talking about get their hands washed and everything. And somebody, yeah, the one, Gary set up her, was over there gonna be serving it. She make the announcements and everything. Yeah, getting ready to serve that food. Y'all better have one line of that healthy, one side and healthy food, and then the other side regular food. I mean that, because if not, like I said, I'm gonna be coming on here and I'm really going in. I'm telling you what I'm gonna do. Everything I said that I was gonna do, have I not done it? Have I not done it? Yes, I have done it. I'm not playing, not at all. You gonna sit here and you gonna kick me out of there because I didn't bring my workout clothes, and you still got they fat asses up in there, them lard asses, them hungry hippos, the water buffalo. Yeah, and if it's not any progress, kick them out. I mean that. I done already talked about all his hypocrisy. Another way of him being a hypocrite tonight, after the guy finished up there, the one up there talking that shit out of his mouth, because they all just talking the shit out of their mouth, getting up there afterwards. Yeah, Eli, Search Code Leader, shitty one, standing up there talking about some of them got to go into work tonight, and some got to go in the morning, and talking about, yeah, don't bother anybody now. This is where they're at. Now, this supposed to be a day of rest. Yeah, y'all ones who came in 07, 08, 09, 2010, y'all know, and let's just call us the old timers. The ones who came in 07, 08, we came in before that we started actually observing what that day of rest, what they want to call the Sabbath. I just say that day of rest. Then it started moving into that. And I remember even when we first started observing, we were observing it from Friday at 6 p.m. to Saturday at 6 p.m. Then that Eli, Circus Code Leader, shitty one, got the information from someone else, because he got all his information. He got a lot of his information from Hebrew Israelite camps. Yeah, Brother Jesse and I, we talked about that when, especially our last conversation that we had a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Anyhow, that Eli, Circus Code Leader, shitty one, he then started saying, okay, from Friday at sundown to Saturday at sundown was, the actual time period, which, yes, that is when anybody who observes that day of rest every week, or any, what they want to call day of rest Sabbath, that is when it's from the sundown of the one day to the sundown of the next day. Yeah. And y'all know, I already went through it with the one, sister widow and her, husband who passed, rest his soul, just passed a couple of few months ago. He made him into a minister. That Eli circus cult leader, shitty one, made him into a minister. And I talked about it when he preached, when he got up there, and that, her husband, was preaching and was talking about how doing with the stock market, investing in the stock market was like playing the lottery. And he sat him down because he was working on the Sabbath, but he knew he was working on the Sabbath when we came into that, and he went ahead and made him into a minister. And like I said, he took it as an offense when that man, he wasn't up there saying that towards him. Yeah, he was just up there making an example. And like I said, I was there in person because I had moved down there by that time. Yeah, I had moved there, had relocated there. And I remember I was in part because it was during one of those funky ass feasts. Yeah, sure enough. So, how you sit here and you put on taking on, and that is a law. That's a law. How you sit here and allow for them to do that? I'm asking that to Eli, circus cult leader, shitty one. And he didn't kick folks out of that circus cult because they did not observe the Sabbath and they was working on the Sabbath. Sat him down because he was working on the Sabbath. He kicked out his own mother-in-law, and I went through that on a video because she went to a wedding on a Saturday. Yeah. Instead of coming to service. Yeah. So you got this on now, they can sit here and work and everything, and then I get on that right choice, that lemon lot, and see that they putting up, oh, happy 4th of July, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, all these doggone holidays that he's taught against and everything. Like I said, no standard. He's nothing but a hypocrite. Eli, circus cult leader, shitty one, nothing but a hypocrite. Nothing but a hypocrite. And I'm going to go ahead and get on this too, because like Sister Keita said, she'll see them out and about, some of them who are still in that circus cult. And like she said, some of them will speak, and some of them, kind of have just a little brief conversation, and go on. Then someone will turn their nose up and be having attitude. The one who in there that I talked about, he in a fucked up marriage because she was a single female coming in there, and she had 2 daughters, and now both her daughters are grown, come from upstate, actually north state New York. Yeah, and then he put her with the one guy that he was single male when he came in, and he came in actually being back after I was got on up out of there, after he went ahead accepting him on in, but he was looking in when I was still in there. But anyway, put them together, fucked up marriage, incompatible. But anyhow, her youngest daughter, like I said, she got on up and out of there and went on about her business after she graduated from high school. Now, the oldest daughter is still in there. And Sis Kid said that she seen her at a grocery store, in that city where that source code is, and said she, one Friday, then the Friday before, and said she spoken in, try to be kind of funny, spoke, but just went on off. Now you don't have any business turning your nose up at anybody, and you just set up here and purchase a doggone Audi off that doggone lemon lot. You can purchase a lemon Audi off that lemon lot. Yeah, they sit here and do little stuff like that. And like I told Sakita, I'm gonna get them come on here and I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I mean that. And like I said, that 90%, they can get on up out of there if they want to. How I am, my heart, no, I don't. Them 90%, I have no empathy, no sympathy, no compassion towards them. And I'm talking about the 90% corrupt crew. I say 90%, I'm talking about corrupt crew, because 90% of them are corrupt up in there. I don't care what stories they had to, I don't care. They gonna do the crime. They gonna sit here and do the time for the crime that they committed. And I mean that. I mean that. I mean that. And the biggest one is the ones who sit here and know that Eli, circus code leader, shitty one, did not report that sexual violation of that little boy by that teenage boy that happened right in that circus cult building. Nobody getting by. Nobody. And I mean that. I do mean that. Nobody. For real. And when it comes down to them firearms up in there, them weapons, they got them firearms. Yeah. So this kid, she brought it back to my remembrance that, she did. This was back when they had shut all that stuff down for the COVID-19 pandemic. Yep, I did say pandemic, but anyway, that's a whole nother topic for not for this channel. But anyhow, and yeah, she did. She contacted the local law enforcement because they weren't supposed to be meeting. And Eli, that circus code leader, shitty one, he was doing it sneakily, having them come there like they were riding actually in cars and automobiles together, and they wouldn't all park on that they wouldn't park on that lemon lot. They would park, not lemon lot, but they wouldn't park on that parking lot of that circus cult building, and they would park like across the street, and they would walk across the street, at other businesses and stuff like that. And so she reported them. She sure did, because I remember she was messaging me, and she was on the phone with some of the other members that's no longer in there. Actually, Brother Solomon was one of them that she was actually on the phone with, and she was, sending me messengers, and everything, and telling me about what was going on. And she actually stopped one of the law enforcement agents with police officers up the street. She stopped them, and she was like, hey, they have firearms in there. Now, this was back like in when they shut 2020. And she told them, she said, hey, they have firearms in there. And the police officer like, well, ma'am, we can't do anything about that because they are allowed to have firearms in a religious organization building, which, yes, I went through that on the last video, that I actually made. And yes, they are, in the state of Georgia. They are allowed to have firearms, and they don't have to have a permit to carry all that. That's what it is. And so she told them, but it brought back also when this was the night that the singing brother and the singing sister got kicked out. And so this was a month after I got kicked out. Like I said, and then like I said, that same night, that was the last night that Sister Keita and Brother Joe and their, Tim Taj, their children, no longer were in there. They went ahead and left. That was their last service night. It was a Friday night. But that night that singing brother and that singing sister got kicked out, that singing brother walked up on Eli, that circus code leader, shitty one. And he wasn't talking. Eli was not sitting there talking that, I ain't afraid of weighing. Let's go outside. Let's go out back. Let's go outside. He wasn't talking about that. He was like, oh, you still here? You still here? And those males who were in there on that security team were walking up to that singing brother and had their hands in their coats because they carry firearms, and they were carrying them back then. Yeah. And like they were going to Do something. And I'm talking about go ahead against him, using the firearms on that singing brother. Yeah, I remember Sister Keita telling me about that when they got on up out of there. And I'm so glad that that singer brother just went on. And see, like I said, it's been heavy on my spirit that something bad is going to happen in that circus cult revolving around firearms. And I've been for real. It's been heavy on my spirit, and that's why I had to go ahead and to report it. Just I don't say report it, but put it up on notice. Yeah, yeah, that local law enforcement, police department, that circus code is in that city, that circus code, they know, the captain knows. Because I forwarded that email. And then, like I said, the ATF, no. So, and FBI, because they got that same email with me saying that they have weapons in there. Yeah. And I see it happen. I hope it does not happen, but I feel that it's going to happen, and it's going to be bad. That it's not just going to be somebody being hurt real bad. It's going to be somebody dead. If it's not somebody's, more than one. And I mean that. And just like how Sis Keita said, them people sitting in there, them folks, a lot of them, they so much worshiping him. Eli, Circus Code leader, Shitty One. Because like I said, they do idol worship. He is their idol. And they worship him. Eli, Circus Code leader, Shitty One. And like how she gave the example, and she just gave this example, and it's so true what she said. He could bring in a man off the street in there, and he could murder that man right there in front of their eyes. And he could sit here and go to prison for murder. And there will be a lot of them that will still be in support of him. And those are facts. And like I said, can't trust him. You didn't do right by that little boy in there being sexually violated by that teenage boy. Nothing was done for him. I'm the only one who has done anything for that little boy in there who was sexually violated by that teenage boy. And it happened right in that Circus Code building. The sexual violation took place right inside that Circus Code building in the men's boys restroom. So like I said, I don't have nothing to say to any of them 90%. And I mean that. And I done already put it on other videos. And this is coming from me, Amber. And I really don't want to hear anything else about nothing with the 90% talking about that they under any type of delusional fog or anything else like that, because they know what they doing enough to sit up here and to do it. They know enough to sit up here and be walking past people having nasty attitude and everything. And I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it all the way 100% real. And I'm gonna say this: I see why Divine Spirit chose me to request of me to carry out this mission assignment, because you have to have a certain mindset and you have to be objective. Yeah, black and white. Yeah, there's no gray area. So you get off into gray area, you can just sit up here and make excuses for folks and, oh well, the bleeding heart, so to speak, and everything. And yeah, I am a compassionate woman. Anybody who knows me, yeah, I'm full of compassion, and empathy and sympathy, but it goes to where it's supposed to go. And I'm black and white as well, objective. And when I say that black and white, I'm talking about objective. Looking at that, it's black or white. It's objective. And see, and that's how it have to be when you're carrying the sword of truth. It can't be any in between. Not at all. And like I said, justice, that's what it is. Justice is just that. And I'm going to go ahead and say this, that Eli, that circus cult leader, shitty one. Again, don't you get up there and don't you say anything about my videos, nothing I'm saying. Don't make reference to it at all. And I mean that, because if it gets back to me, I'm coming on this camera and I'm going to be calling first, last names and talking about folks that's sitting in there. And I mean that, and posting pictures on my Facebook page. And I do mean that. You keep on doing what you've been doing. Before I started making these videos, before I put the report in, the claim in about that little boy being sexually violated by that teenage boy that happened right in that circus cult building, you keep doing exactly what you was doing before I came back on the scene in August of 2023. You keep on doing it. You retain your unrighteousness. And we're going to see what's going to be. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. I will be back with another video. But until that time, I'm signing out.